Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And here's your host, Conrad Cushman.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I am your host, not only of the podcast, but of the award ceremony tonight, Conrad Cushman. And with me, my co-host, Derek Shelton.
What's up?
We are here to review the Best of 2019 EPW award show. We will be going through 10 different categories that we had people vote on for over the past month of who is the best in the professional wrestling world. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It was a great podcast that we did last year with me and Rob. Rob was supposed to be here, but Rob was feeling a little under the weather, and then the schedules got mixed up. We'll have him on soon, I promise you guys. What is going on? Let's see who we got in the live chat here. We got Original Biggie, Culture Club Wrestling Jackson. What is going on? My man Sick With It's in the house, and Thomas Poster. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Obi-Wan?
You guys already know the deal. How can you help out Everything Pro Wrestling? Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you can click the like button, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out a lot. It can bring more people into watching the videos, puts it on their recommended list. So make sure you guys click that thumbs up button. It means a lot. Also, you guys can leave a comment down below after the video, especially if you're watching after the fact. I want to hear what you thought. Tell me if the people were totally wrong on something. Tell me if you agree very much so about something, because these 10 different categories are going to have a lot of different answers, and I'm pretty sure nobody knocked everything out of the park and picked winners in all of them.
No.
You guys can do whatever you got to do. Six said, I'm here to critique and judge the winner of today's nominations. Oh, here we go.
Oh, boy.
But it's going to be very interesting. We're going to do that. If you guys are listening to the audio version, which you can listen to on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you are listening to your podcast on, you can find it in the link tree down below. Find it. Make sure you just click the subscribe button. Help a brother out and let me know that you have subscribed to the podcast audio. If you want to take it on your way to going to work, if you need something to listen to while you're working at school, put in Everything Pro Wrestling. We like to interact with everybody, so you're going to hear me talking to people in the chat. Everything else. King Savage is in the house. My man, Dio. What's going on, Dio? Good to see you in here, DP. King Savage said, poor Liv. We are not talking about that wedding last night.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Just wildness. Wild. You know what? It was like a car crash, though. People are talking about it, and that's what Vince wanted. He kind of got what he wanted out of it.
Yeah, but I think it was a waste. You built her up for what?
We got to see. We don't know what it's leading to. You got to watch the full story sometimes. And with WWE, I get it. Don't believe in it. Chris, what's going on, brother? Good to have you in here, my friend. All right, D.
Can't buy into it.
Tough. Let's get into it, D. I think we've wasted enough time. Let us talk about the very first one. And Derek, since you're here, I'm going to let you introduce this one. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up.
All right, so first off, we're going to start off with the 2019 faction of the year.
Now, when we look at factions in professional wrestling, we are looking at groups of wrestlers who can resemble factions of past that were greatness. Factions like the Four Horsemen, the NWO, D-Generation X. I can go on and on with names of great factions. But we let everybody vote on this year who was the best faction. Now, before we get into who actually won, I'd like for me and Derek kind of to give our picks and why. And we'll get into it maybe with the live chat as well here. Who did you pick, Derek, for this one?
I picked the Undisputed Era.
Okay, now why do you like the Undisputed Era as a faction?
You know, they cause a lot of chaos, but the chaos is organized. You know what I mean? Like, they know exactly what they're getting ready to do. They know when to come in and save their partners and when to distract and when to attack. How could you not like them?
Who's your favorite?
Adam Cole, baby.
Boom. Yeah, Undisputed Era seems like a very easy pick. Now, I gave you guys choices for all of these, and I gave you an other option. When I give you other, you can write in whatever you want, and I will be able to see who you guys put in there. This one was pretty lopsided in the victory.
Definitely.
The winner took home 63% of the votes. It is the Undisputed Era. Boom! I want to just have the Kyle O'Reilly. That dude's such a meat, man. I don't even know what to say. Love him though. Love him. The Undisputed Era win. I obviously saw this coming. They are everybody's favorite faction. You see lots of those T-shirts coming around. Now, some of these other groups, I felt they deserved a little recognition. Disappointed. New Day. Only 2% of the votes. I thought we would see a little bit more from New Day. OVE really didn't get anything. They got 1 vote.
I mean, honestly, though, when you really think about the New Day, it is surprising. But then again, it's not surprising because the New Day, they've been around for so long. It's kind of like... It's not really a faction. You know what I mean?
I think they're a faction. Live chat. Is New Day a faction? What's going on, Donnie? I mean, PR Nightmare, what's good, boys?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the New Day. I love the New Day. But to me, it seems like the New Day is more so just a tag team kind of situation.
Are you basing that on just this year alone, or are you saying that you've always felt like that?
No, in the beginning, I felt that they were a faction. I think what I'm starting to get at right now is the fact that it's always been... Big E and Xavier Woods, who are always tagging up. And then it's Kofi Kingston in the singles. Because Kofi usually has more singles matches than anybody else.
Come on, Mark's Reviews. Mark's Reviews comes in and says, New Day is old day. Snooze fest. Jesus is with me. New Day is a faction. I agree, Jesus. I think they're a faction. They're a 3-man group that look out for each other. But Forgotten Sons was on here. So New Day, Forgotten Sons, and Villain Enterprises all came away with about the same amount. LIJ had 4% of the votes. The Rascals got 5. I was surprised to see an Impact Wrestling team up here. They're a 3-man team as well, though. The OC had 3. Ooh. Bullet Club, someone who used to be the favorites. Look at how much they've diminished. Down to 3%. Contra Unit only got 1 vote, and I'm a big Contra Unit guy. If you don't know about Jacob Fatu and MLW, look it up, folks. I promise you, good stuff. The Elite, only 4 votes for them.
But that's another thing. The Elite is they're a faction, but at the same time, it's more so
tag team and singles for Kenny and the Bucks.
Yeah.
I get you. In the Inner Circle, they were second place. Inner Circle had 7% of the votes, but like I said, they got dominated by Undisputed Era. They are clearly the favorites, and that's who you guys picked for this one. Let me see here. Jesus said, yes, they're a faction. I thought a faction was more than 3 people. That's where we're debating. Is 3 a faction or no?
That's what I'm saying. Like, 3 is... I don't really consider them...
And then Sick just asked, what's the difference between a faction and a stable? I think they're both the same thing between a faction and a stable.
I would say a stable is a 3-man team. A faction would be more of like what DX was. You know what I mean? Like,
ooh, Chris said that they're more, in the beginning they were like a faction, but now they're more like a tag team. They're a faction, of course, a boring faction. Come on, Marks, man. I like New Day, man. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to be in Buffalo. I'm glad to hear it, PR Nightmare. Connor Knows Wrestling said, hey, what's going on? What's up, Connor? Donnie said, love the jacket, CJ. Thank you.
I'm underdressed. Dude didn't even tell me anything about wearing a sports jacket.
Bro, my beard looks really bad. I got to shave tonight.
So does mine.
Yeah, you got candy, bro.
I mean...
Hold on. They ain't sponsors. Don't show them.
Nah,
they ain't getting on camera. Yeah. New Day to me has to be a tag team stable, but they use the Freebird rule. Dio, that makes sense to me. Bullet Club, not good anymore, King says. Harsh. What's up, B? Brandon Anderson in the house. Three's a party. Stop, Brandon. Well, I mean, Omega and the Young Bucks haven't been doing 6-man matches with each other lately. True. Casey Briggs in the house. What's going on, Casey? Folks, make sure you hit that like button. Let's super kick that like button for me. Agreed. Faction equals stable. Same thing. Mark says, I'm sorry, I strongly disagree. I love MLW, but I'm sorry, I can't stand Fatu. He's getting a push off of his family name alone. Fatu's a beast, bro. I wouldn't say that. Ask that one fan who tried to jump on him. Fatu had to lay him out. Real quick, folks, I got to show you something cool that I got. I know some of you saw the picture. Pass it over, D. Pass it over. This is one of the few times I will show this beautiful piece of art. Jushin Thunder Liger, folks. Fresh out of the packaging. This is really good, man. I had to get one of these bad boys because of Liger's retirement. I'm telling you, the action figure looks pretty dope. You get all the different hand motions and movements for him. This is a collector's item. Really dope, man. Jushin Thunder Liger, one of my favorites. Got to show some respect, man. Wrestle Kingdom review will be coming up this weekend with Rob, hopefully. And it's going to be fun, man. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel for that. D, let's get into the next category here. We are now looking at shocking moment of the year, folks. What moment can give you the chills up and down your spine that you're like, oh man, even if you knew it was going to happen, did it shock you enough to like, man, I thought about it, but it was just so cool to actually see it? Now, we had a lot of different things on here. I gave some options for things like Pete Dunne's 600-plus title reign as the UK champion, Jon Moxley's Double or Nothing debut, Jushin Thunder Liger, who we just brought up, announces his retirement, Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega in their Full Gear brawl, the Great Muta and Jushin Thunder Liger showing up at the G1 Supercard Battle Royal, super dope, Kota Ibushi wins the G1 Climax, Rob Van Dam signs with Impact Wrestling. Rhino joins Impact. Michael Elgin leaves New Japan Pro Wrestling and debuts in Impact. We had the end of Lucha Underground. Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt, Hell in a Cell ending. And from my man Doc G, who I was just talking to on the phone, yes, this match was terrible. Worst match of the year, probably. Yes. Kofi Mania. Kofi Kingston finally wins the WWE title. Brock Lesnar destroys Kofi Kingston in 8 seconds on SmackDown. And we had some others in there for people to specify. Really didn't get any choices on that too much. So what was the main thing that shocked people this year? I'd be remiss in saying that this was a very easy one to pick. I thought it was tough between some things. Derek, what was your choice on this one? Do you remember what you went with?
I went with Jon Moxley. Even though I should have gone with Kofi Kingston or Brock Lesnar beating Kofi Kingston, because that was just kind of like, yo, you really just gave my man the shaft.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Kofi, man, when he lost in 8 seconds like that.
Cool.
The winner is Jon Moxley's debut at Double or Nothing. That was such a cool moment because everybody wondered when Dean Ambrose left the WWE, his Twitter page became Jon Moxley. Then he released that video at midnight that one night. Everybody was like, yo, what is this video for? Why is he wrapping barbed wire around? This is dope. People were getting hyped for it. But where was he going was the question. Then we find out that he was the person behind the New Japan Pro Wrestling videos as the Death Rider. Moxley was making moves so fast behind people's backs that nobody knew. And then he signed with AEW. Showed up at Double or Nothing. My wedding anniversary day. The man went in, bro. And Moxley stole this one. He got 27% of the vote. So this one was pretty scattered out. Liger had some votes. Kota had some votes. Rhino's the only one who didn't get shit. But even
I feel bad for Rhino. I feel bad for him.
I like Rhino, man.
Rhino's good.
Yeah.
Rhino's good. You know,
But
can't take nothing away.
But you see it, he ain't get shit. Yeah. That was bad.
I mean, but I think for Rhino it's just more of like, you know, he goes wherever he goes, you know.
Yeah, he's gonna do whatever he wants to do for that, and I'm not mad. Not mad at all, dude. You had to do what you had to do.
Yeah.
Some people put up Hazuki retires from Stardom and Pro Wrestling, where the other ones, Joey Ryan signs with Impact, and Becky Lynch winning the WrestleMania main event. So. Yeah. I think JPQ put that Stardom one. I ain't mad at you, JPQ. Yeah, that definitely not mad at Moxley getting it. Kofi Kingston winning at Mania. I thought that was a big one. I voted for Kofi Kingston winning at Mania. I thought that was a great moment for people who were fans of Kofi Kingston, fans of mid-card wrestling. I respect the action figure, but TNA though. No, in the picture you saw, Sick, there's a TNA action figure behind it, and it's got like the little top part of it for the action figure, how they put them on the shelves. That one's from a different company, completely different. Bray Wyatt debuting The Fiend was big this year too. Yeah. I don't think anybody really thought of it though when it comes to that. Adam Cole winning the title at TakeOver 25. Who the F is talking about Elgin? Who cares about that? Not repeating that word on the podcast, Casey. Damn, Moxley won. Get the Rhino. Kofi Kingston, man, when he won though, I almost felt like crying. That was a really cool moment. Very touching for him to win. But John Moxley Double or Nothing is not a bad choice either. I ain't mad at it. Man, Derek, you get this next one here, bro. You can introduce the people here, and then we'll see what walks away with the win.
All right. So next, we got the 2019 pay-per-view special event of the year.
You eating candy?
Yeah, man.
I can smell it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
All right, so
we had some pretty good choices for this one, man.
I say this one looks scattered out.
This is another real scattered one. So we had Wrestle Kingdom 13 on here as a choice. We had NXT TakeOver UK Blackpool, Impact Wrestling Homecoming. Terrible. NXT TakeOver New York, G1 Supercard, Double or Nothing, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania 35, NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, TakeOver Phoenix, TakeOver 25, Ring of Honor 17th Anniversary, MLW Saturday Night Super Fight, Impact Slammiversary, New Japan Dominion, PWG Bola 2019, and we had some others. I'm kind of curious to see what the others were.
Yeah.
Some people put NWA Into the Fire as a choice. CZW Down with the Sickness. Okay. NXT TakeOver War Games and New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors finale. Okay. Not mad. But this one was scattered out. So live chat, I'm looking at you. What was the best event this year? You got me and Derek talking about it, but what do you guys think was the best event? Donnie said WrestleMania sucked. I think WrestleMania was more watchable this year than it's been in the past couple years.
Yes.
I thought it was better. Yeah. Better paced and everything else. My moment is when Vince McMahon steps down from WWE. Number 3, Hurricane showing up at the Rumble. TakeOver New York or Double or Nothing, Jesus says, are his choices. I'm seeing a lot of TakeOver New Yorks. Connor Knows Wrestling says Wrestle Kingdom 13 was good. Thomas Poster said Happy New Year from Germany, and the first thing I do into the new year is watching my favorite YouTuber doing a live stream. Tom, that makes me feel good, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, I do have a long-time girlfriend. My cousin said Bray getting Joe pregnant was the biggest upset of the year.
I can go with that.
JoJo. He wrote Joe, though. At first, I was like, Samoa Joe? I was like, come on, dog. But he's talking about JoJo from there. That's the shocker of the year to me. Chris Matthews says TakeOver New York. Casey says Double or Nothing. Dio says AEW All Out. BJ, what's going on? BJ from Run the Rope Show, giving him a shout out. BJ, we got to work together, bro. We'll try to figure something out, man. It's tough. Double or Nothing or Wrestle Kingdom 13. I think AAA had a good year too. I think Best of the Super Juniors was the best. Good choices. I'm not mad. Like I said, all these choices are good. We get a lot of good wrestling. D, I'll let you announce the winner, bro.
Hey. AEW, Double or Nothing.
AEW walks away with the win, just barely in this one.
Yeah, NXT TakeOver New York. Yeah, they were.
They only beat them by 2 votes.
Yeah, they were on their heels.
Yeah, so whoever said that, Double or Nothing though, that was a really good card, man.
Double or Nothing was very shocking just because it was their first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And so now you have your first pay-per-view. Expectations are high, but no one expected it to be as good as it was.
Was that their best pay-per-view? Live chat, same question. Best pay-per-view for AEW?
I say yeah.
Agreed, man. We'll make it happen in 2020. My bad, Samoa Joe just looks pregnant. Come on, sick. Leave my man Joe alone. I turned off Catfish to come watch you right now. Greatest drama on television. I'm not going to front. While Casey just brought up Catfish, I definitely fell down a Catfish rabbit hole on YouTube the other day watching the ranked ones. Did you get it too? Bro, I was watching all of those. Catfish is it bad that I laugh? I'm like, what is this?
Not at all, dude. Like, Catfish is, dude.
See, that's why Vince did that angle with the wedding. I'm telling you, bro. People like to watch this stuff. But let us get back to Double or Nothing getting this victory. Great matches on the card. Some people say it's their best pay-per-view. Some say it's All Out. Some say it's Full Gear. AEW, to me, has yet to put on that A show to where I could put it in that range. And I feel like, personally, NXT TakeOver New York hit that. Like, it was like an A- show.
Right. But you also got to think that NXT TakeOver has a shorter time limit.
Less matches, but yeah, that's true. Because Double or Nothing goes on for 3 or 4 hours.
Right. So NXT is what, 2?
2.5.
2.5. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you got everything jam packed, and most of the matches are pretty much extended out, over a good amount of time. So whereas you think this should be like a 15-minute match, it's probably going like 25, 30, just because there's so much drama in it, so much action, you forget all about the time. Versus you get these 3 to 4 hour shows, just like, whew, I'm tired.
Yeah, you get a lot of people in here. Casey said that's what hooked me. Oh, man. And everyone's talking about the lesbian angle in the chat from that wedding yesterday. Fudge sickles, man. All right, next up, guys, we're going to keep it moving along here. We had the 2019 debut of the year. Now, the debut of the year meant a lot of different things. We didn't just limit it to wrestling. Rob helped me with some of these choices, and Rob suggested that maybe it's more than wrestling. We had on here AEW on TNT, Jon Moxley debuting in AEW. We also had The Fiend at SummerSlam, Cain Velasquez in AAA, Tyson Fury at Crown Jewel, Contra in MLW, Pride and Powerful in AEW, Imperium in NXT UK, Jon Moxley in New Japan, SmackDown on Fox, and we had some others to specify. Let's see what others came up with. So we had NWA Power. A lot of people dig Power, man. It's old school pro wrestling at its finest. Shout out to RJ from Ringside Rant. He's going to be doing an interview with Joe Galley, so make sure you guys check that out as well. Lulu Pencil rookie debut, and Michael Elgin in Impact. So see, Michael Elgin gets a vote here, but he couldn't get one before. Come on, man. Or no, that was Rhino who didn't get any. But some people like Elgin, though. That was all right. Let us see who gets the win here. This is another tight one, man. The victory goes to Jon Moxley in AEW. I'm pretty sure. Did you pick one of those, or did you go with?
I went with Jon Moxley on AEW.
See, I looked at it for a long time. Jon Moxley and AEW, that was a big deal. A lot of people went crazy on the wrestling social medias and everything else. But I went with AEW on TNT because it marked competition once again in pro wrestling. I thought that was more important of a debut.
It did.
You could even put the announcement of AEW on here in general. But I thought AEW debuting on TNT was more. But Jon Moxley just edged that out with 5 votes. Not mad at it, though. D, what do you want to give your thoughts on Moxley or something here for a little bit?
Yeah, I want to say Jon Moxley, in my opinion, Jon Moxley deserved it because nobody, yes, there were, I won't say nobody. There were probably people who speculated, yes, Jon Moxley's going to AEW or Jon Moxley's going to New Japan. But just to see him show up on AEW after AEW's like, all right, we're here to compete with WWE and all the other top-notch wrestling companies, and you already started out with Cody Rhodes and Jericho, so you're like, all right, this is big time right here. Then you get Jon Moxley just comes out of nowhere. That had to be one of the biggest pops I've heard in a long time.
I heard that Jim Ross did not know either that Jon Moxley was going to debut. They made sure Jim Ross didn't know so that his voice was genuinely excited. I don't know if you remember that moment when Jim Ross was like, "Is that Jon Moxley?
Yeah.
That Jon Moxley."
Dude, when you have JR excited like that, that's...
By God.
He's broken in half.
Yeah, some people may not like JR's commentary, but I thought that was a really good moment and something very cool for him to be able to pull off and do for during this time. And let's see, let's move on to the next one here, D. I'm going to give it to you for you're going to get 2019 Breakout Performer of the Year, D.
All right.
You want to run through some of the names that we put down for people?
All right. So, we got Ricochet. We got Humberto Carrillo. Then we got Mustafa Ali. Then we got Tessa Blanchard, Sami Callihan, Matt Riddle, Rhea Ripley, Walter,
I like it.
Sorry. Ray Fenix.
Ray Fenix.
Shingo. Chad Gable. Mia Yim. Io Shirai. AC Romero. Sammy Guevara. Orange Cassidy. And let's see, we got Leo Rush. Bandito. Jonathan Gresham. MJF. Adam Hangman Page. And we had some others.
I'm curious to see who the others are here. Yeah. Let's see who we got here. Oh, we had 7 responses in others. So this was a little high one. Someone put Keith Lee down.
Ooh, like
someone added Darby Allin. I think they're in the chat right now. Who added Darby Allin? Kofi Kingston. Lulu Pencil. Keith Mother Lee getting the votes. And Vikingo from AAA. I think I said that correctly. So AAA even got shown some love on this one. I will. Oh,
actually, it's a tie.
No, I don't see a tie. Oh, yeah, wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't have. That's like. Do we allow a tie, folks? Do we have co-winners in this?
I don't know if we have co-winners for this. I don't think we can have co-winners.
It's tied though. I think you're gonna have to. This is her fault why this happened, in all honesty, because she almost won. We almost had 3 co-winners at the same time. But D, go ahead. I'll let you make the announcement of who won.
All right. So, with it being a tie,
14% of the vote for both.
We got Rhea Ripley and MJF.
2 great people. Rhea Ripley has really come into her own since the Mae Young Classic. Let me talk about her first.
Yeah, I went with Rhea Ripley.
Oh, so it's your fault why this happened.
Probably.
King Savage said Rhea Ripley is on this. This list is fixed, Rob says. I'm sorry, Rob. But we have a tie, so I guess we're gonna call them co-winners for right now between them. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's Rhea Ripley did her thing, man. Last week she looked like the biggest star in the world.
Exactly.
Becoming the NXT Women's Champion. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch it. If you haven't watched it by now, I'm sorry. It's too late.
It's old news now, so you should have seen it.
But Rhea Ripley is a star, man. From the Mae Young Classic, Rhea Ripley came in and she looked like kind of like this timid, shy girl to Rhea Ripley looks like she will beat your ass, take your name, and then step on your head again. Exactly. She is a monster.
You know what? Rhea Ripley was somebody that shocked me. You know, I wasn't.
Casey's not letting Darby go. I knew he voted for Darby Allin.
Rhea Ripley just came onto the scene for me like before I seen her. I started watching her after the Mae Young Classic, and then when I seen her come, like I already knew about MJF and all that, so I'm like, all right, cool. But MJF didn't take me by surprise as, you know, his wrestling stature. He took me by surprise as his heel stature.
Yeah, MJF is a great heel. He let me see if I can pull this up. I had put something in our Facebook group, but I'm gonna go to his Twitter page real quick while we're talking about him. And you remember when I met him?
Oh yeah.
Me and MJF got into it on Twitter, and then I was the first person he had to take pictures with at a ESW show here in Buffalo, and that's Empire State Wrestling. Giving you guys a shout out. Yeah, dude, it was really funny for MJF to then like come up and kind of be like, "Oh, you're the guy," and then, you know, he tried to do like the acted tough middle finger thing in your face and all that, and I was just like, "Dude, get out of here! Don't start any of that shit, all right, buddy." But he did a really good thing, man. Like, I'm just gonna go through his Twitter right now to show you how much of a heel this dude is. He says, and I quote, "Since all wrestling fans are redneck bumpkins who can't comprehend anything out of NASCAR, allow me to explain what happened with my career in your terms. 2019, you saw me pull ahead as one of the best in this sport. In 2020, I lap everyone. Hashtag better than you." This dude is a beef. I'm telling you, man, there's something wrong with this cat. There was something else he had put out to Cody that I thought was really good. Wow, he even retweeted Chris Van Vliet, even though he threw bread at him in the interview. Right. Where is it now? It's going to make me mad if I don't find this. Kiss the ring. MJF making people kiss his ring that he won. Here it is from yesterday. So Cody Rhodes put out the big tweet about Arn Anderson's going to be his manager. We will have an AEW Dynamite review if you guys are digging the content and stuff. Come on in. Yeah. And here's what MJF decided to tweet about that. He quote tweets it and says, "Allow me to translate this misleading trash heap of paragraphs." He says, "He will never be a world champion because I bested him and he has no clue what to do next with his career. He's terrified of me, so he hired a legend as his bodyguard who barely remembers his own name. Hashtag do the work." He took Cody's hashtag and disrespected him. And King Savage just put it best. MJF is an asshole. 100%, bro, but he's a good one. Colton Mayfield came in and said Rhea is what Becky wishes to be fair with her man character.
I agree.
Or to be with her man character, excuse me. Casey says, saw Darby on that Vice documentary series. Then he debuts in AEW. He's great. At the end of the day, in summary, Conrad is wrong. It's Darby. Casey, I'm just reading the results, bro. I'm just reading the results. That's it. Let me see. Dio put Orange Cassidy. I thought he was another good choice, but... shocked that he didn't get it. Tessa Blanchard was right one vote away from having it be a three-way tie, though. Tessa Blanchard was right up there. Not mad. Not mad at it at all. Let's move on to number 5.
Can I get a number 5?
And actually, I'm going to bookmark this time right here because we are going to lead this into a commercial break from our good friends at Everything College Basketball who just had their 50th episode. Big shout out to Josh, Peyton, Tyler Cook, and the boys. I greatly appreciate you guys. Congratulations on 50 episodes. And we're going to insert your ad here. And we're also going to tell you how you guys can get a free month of indie wrestling on your boy with powerslam.tv. Just use the code EPW show, and we're going to play those ads for you right now.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at powerslam.tv.
Everything Pro Wrestling, it's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast and Facebook group. I'm Josh Burton, letting you all know that if you like the college game, that there's only one spot to come find all you need to know.
Yep, Josh, Peyton, and myself, Tyler. We are the three voices of ECB podcast and Facebook group. Peyton, tell them where they can find us and listen to us at.
Well, Tyler, you can find us on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and all other podcast hosting sites. Also, go join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups like Everything College Basketball. So if you want everything you need to know about the collegiate game or have a passion for it, there's only one spot that you need to check out on a weekly basis or a daily basis with the Facebook group. That's Everything College Basketball. Now let's get back to Conrad informing you on everything pro wrestling and the workings around it.
Brother.
Folks, and we are back once again. And at this point, we're going to talk about the second half of the award show here. We are at number 5, Promotion of the Year. This should be an interesting one. We had so many good ones in here. Now, we lumped NXT in with WWE because we knew they didn't stand a chance without it. So,
right, exactly.
And it's not even that. I just think that NXT is a WWE product at this point. You have to kind of lump it in. But we had WWE, New Japan, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA, AAA, Stardom, whatever it may be. We went for all the gold, sucker, on this one. So promotion of the year, D, did you have anybody who you were like, this is the clear-cut favorite? Is there anything that you were like, this has to win?
No. I thought it was going to be already between AEW and NXT.
As a brand?
As a brand. Because NXT has been the stronger brand for WWE. Raw and SmackDown have been less than stellar.
That was a polite way of putting it. I'm glad that you've learned to watch your mouth instead of saying effing sucks. We had some GCW votes in the other section. GCW is the wrestling company that Jim Cornette was recently going at it with on Twitter, Game Changer Wrestling. We also have Rise Wrestling. Beyond Wrestling is great if you want to see where a lot of talents are coming through. A lot of good people have even come through here from Buffalo, all over. And these talents are amazing. They're ending up getting signed. So Beyond Wrestling is a place to watch. Gato Move, I'm not familiar with that. And Sendai Girls. So maybe that's somewhere else. Hopefully that's not anything bad that I said, because if it is, I honestly don't know.
Right.
But I'm not familiar with it. Maybe I'll have to do a Google search after about those. So this one was a rat race. Came down to 1% difference between the winners. And the winner is, Derek?
AEW.
AEW picks up the victory with 36% of the vote. They came in, crushed it. They get a big chunk of votes here on this one. And WWE NXT was right behind, though, with 35% of the votes. Right. This has been the big Wednesday Night Wars beef throughout the entire year. I don't give into any of that crap. I'm not a big fan of the whole you got to choose a side. No. Watch what you want to watch, people.
Exactly. Watch whatever catches your attention. If WWE still catches your attention over this long period of time that they've been here, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, it's that's what you've grown up to watch. That's what you've grown up to know. That's what you've grown up to love. We grew up on WWE. Are we still watching? Yes. Are we watching AEW? Yes. Are we watching New Japan? Yes. We're connoisseurs of all wrestling.
Honestly, the show's called Everything Pro Wrestling, and I'm trying not to book myself into a corner when it comes to this, but at the same time, I do have to try to watch a little bit of everything so that I can do it. I don't watch Ring of Honor weekly. I don't watch Impact Wrestling weekly. Hell, I'll admit it. If something else better comes up, I'm not watching Raw regularly. That's why you're not getting Raw reviews currently from me. And if WrestleMania season picks up, maybe I'll do them again. But for right now, I'm kind of just chilling out with everything as far as that goes. In the chat, though, Original Biggie said it's NWA for him. NWA is a great product. I love NWA. It's on YouTube, easy to access, and it's a throwback feeling to wrestling. The wrestling's not great. What's great is the promos. Yes. What's great is the old school feel about it. Let's see here. Impact had a hot comeback, but it's AEW, Colton says. DP says that it's hands down MLW. Dio, you're not wrong about that, brother. MLW is great too. I think they're very slept on. One of the more slept on organizations. Casey said Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Anyway, Jesus says, seriously, AEW won. That's shocking. It was tight though, man. NXT is great, bro. I still love NXT. I think they put on the best pay-per-views. Perfect timing. Everything is just nice. Jesus is shocked by that. NJPW was third. I promise you. They had like a nice chunk. They had a quarter of the votes, like 25%. Yeah. But people were just giving it up for AEW and NXT, man. And like I said, guys, wrestling community too, let's not be toxic towards one another when it comes to who likes what side. It doesn't matter. No. And I can tell who you like already just by your comments usually and how it goes back and forth. I know who you're more of a fan of. It's fine, man.
There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. But if you want that smoke, it can be given.
Come on, D.
Just say.
DM him. I don't want to hear about it because you'll just get muted by me. Casey said, laugh out loud, it's AEW. Of course it is. It's AEW. They came out and did solid in their rookie year. Still plenty of room to grow, though.
Exactly.
Hashtag choke out Dom never happened. That's the saddest moment that never happened of the year. I was begging for that on Monday Night Raw. I wanted Samoa Joe to choke Rey Mysterio's son out. Jesus, as people crap on it, yet they've won. Very shocking. It depends on what camp you roll with, Jesus. I see it on both sides, though. I see AEW fans doing it to NXT, and I've seen it where NXT fans and WWE fans are doing it to AEW. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Their characters get me. See? Question mark. Question mark. D, this one's on you, man. Let's get into the number 4. This one is
2019 Tag Team of the Year.
Whoop, there it is.
Hey.
that was on point, bro. Go ahead, D. I'll let you run through some of the choices, man. This is on you.
All right. So, we got the Usos. We got the New Day, the Revival, Viking Raiders. We got the Iconics.
Iconic. That was for Josh.
Horrible. The Boston Hog Connection.
Boston Hug. You said Hog.
It looked like Hog. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The Gorilla of what is that?
The Gorillas of Destiny. G.O.D.
Okay, Evil and
Sonata.
Oh, is that Evil from
When we went to Ring of Honor.
Yes, okay. Rapungi 3K, The Undisputed Era, Street Profits, The Briscoes Villain Enterprise, Grizzled Young Veterans, Mark Andrews and The Flash.
Flash Morgan Webster.
Flash Morgan Webster.
I had to pull up the whole name for you because it's too long.
Yeah, you got it. The North and LAX, or PNP, however you want to look at it. The Young Bucks, SCU, Private Party, Lucha Bros, the Wild Cards, the New Heart Foundation, and others.
Curious to see what the others are. I got to pull these up when they happen. Rowita, Ultimate Powers, and Imperium.
Okay,
They pulled up as
I can
teams.
see Imperium.
I like Imperium. They're a good team. I'm not familiar with the other team. D. Who takes it home?
And the winner is the Undisputed Era.
They won back to back. They won last year too. This was a smack down on everybody in this. I'm kind of disappointed that there weren't more votes for other tag teams.
Yeah.
Chat, who's your tag team of the year? I'm seeing people. I see more people crap on AEW though, Conrad. Jesus, I promise you, bro. It's on both sides. It's just
on both sides.
If you're an AEW fan, you're not going to see it because they're coming to attack whatever groups you're in or whatever else you do.
Exactly.
Versus if you're in a WWE group, then you'll see like the AEW problems. Like I said, there's crazy people on both sides. Some people said the War Raiders. Damn. Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, or Undisputed Era. Casey said he loves the Iconics. Lucha Bros. Better be Lucha Bros, Six said. Six gonna be disappointed in the groups here. I'm trying to see who came up second. Was it Lucha Bros? Lucha Bros with 14%. They came up second. Gorillas of Destiny were third place, though. That's kind of a shocker.
That is.
They really haven't had a lot of competition, though. A lot of tag divisions are bad.
Yes.
AEW, in my opinion, has the best tag division, but I am shocked that everybody went with Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era had a little rocky year, too, kind of losing to the Street. They lost the Street Profits when I went to take over Toronto.
Yeah.
They get a rematch, win them back. The team started off at one point with, it was Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, but then it switched to Bobby Fish, got back into the mix of things. Now it looks like he's out again a little bit.
Yeah. But you know what, though? I can see why people would pick. I mean, in my opinion, I can see why people would pick Undisputed Era. They just have that presence. You know, it's not to say that these other tag teams don't have that presence, but the Undisputed Era just...
Is it the it factor?
Yes.
I can't be mad at that. I'm just surprised some teams didn't get any votes, like the Briscoes. Yeah. But maybe it's the thing, like you said, with the longevity. Like New Day really didn't do too well. Neither did the Usos. Maybe people just expect them to be great.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Like for the Undisputed Era, I can see them as a team that can go to any brand and have the same kind of pop that they have right now.
I don't know, man. Once you get to that main roster, sometimes you get in trouble. Let me see here. Red Dragon, of course. North is a bit underrated, though. I like the North, too, Colton. Six said, man, I love the Undisputed Era, but come on, bro. Lucha Bros. King Savage said Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. You better not be messing with me, bro. You could have put that in, though. If it was in the other, I would have let it rock. Casey said, I love the Lucha Bros. They're the best in the world. But if we're saying who had the best year, it's Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
They did come back, and they were draped in the gold.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Lucha Bros. The Lucha Bros put on a great performance every single time. The Undisputed Era just have that it factor right now.
Hey, not mad.
No one's getting sick of them yet, and I think that's why I voted for them, because no one's getting sick of them. You only see them
so often. They don't shove them down to where you're tired of them.
Exactly. Whereas New Day, you see them almost every show, even if they're not wrestling.
Yeah, overdone a little bit. But then that goes into the problems of people wanting to see more people on AEW. They're like, oh, it's too long since we've last seen MJF. Well, then they wind up becoming like these other people who've seen every week, and you're kind of sick of them.
Exactly.
It's a balancing act, I think, at the time with it. Number 3, I got this one. 2019 Female Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, wow.
And your nominees are, this is going to be good.
Wow.
Yeah. Becky Lynch. You have Charlotte. You have Bayley. Tessa Blanchard. Taya Valkyrie. Shayna Baszler. Io Shirai. Toni Storm. Mayu Iwatani. Kagetsu. Arisa. Kelly Klein. Rio. And we had some others for people to specify. Gotta see what these 3 are. Shaza McKenzie. Not bad. She popped up at AEW. Lulu Pencil. And Britt Baker, I'm
surprised to see Britt Baker in that.
Yeah, that's, you know what? Someone felt strongly enough to write it, though. So, not mad at it. Good, but the other has not won out yet for anybody.
Not at all. Still time, though. Still time.
This was very lopsided. It basically came down to 2 people. Number 1, D. Tessa Blanchard from Impact Wrestling. How could you argue that Tessa Blanchard is not one of the best women's performers of the year?
There's really no way that you can.
Tessa Blanchard is competing for the X Division title, the world title. She was at one point the women's champion, or knockout champion, in Impact Wrestling. She has done her thing this year. Tessa Blanchard at Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill is challenging Sami Callihan for the world title, folks. This is something that's very different. She may be one of the first people to do this on a mainstream platform. We haven't seen someone really challenge for titles like this against men since China.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just surprised by how all of this is playing out. Let me see here. China finally got inducted. Casey said, Becky wins easy. Becky all the way. Becky wins. You guys are off. Becky was second place, but Tessa Blanchard took 48.8% of the votes.
Yes.
Becky Lynch had 29% of the votes. 29.29, excuse me. And behind her was Io Shirai.
Can we talk about...
Or excuse me, I'm sorry, Shayna Baszler, then Io. Shayna had 9%.
Can we talk about the fact that Charlotte
got 0?
Got 0.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's the IWC, bro. They don't want Charlotte, man.
That is crazy.
I think it's the fact of what Corey Graves and Ric Flair have been bringing up kind of on podcasts and in media interviews. Bro, when they said Charlotte Flair did not get enough, she's a 10-time women's champ. Sasha Banks can't get a decent reign. Bayley's not even on television enough to be remembered that she's the women's champ. Come on, man.
Yeah, honestly, I definitely forgot Bayley was even wrestling.
Jesus says Becky should have won. I think that the issue is Tessa is more recognized across independent wrestling right now. She was in the main event angle.
You hear her name a lot.
Yeah, Tessa Blanchard as a free agent, people want her. AEW is probably chomping at the bit to get her. They're like, listen, come on over. Listen, guys, business 101 real quick. Her father is not hired for no reason in AEW. Hey, how's Tessa doing? See you at the cookout. Can't wait to see you there. Make those famous Blanchard burgers.
Exactly.
Bro, they want her just as bad. And NXT ain't stupid. Triple H got her number. She's wrestled in NXT before. Hey, how you doing? He wants it, dude. I'm telling you. Original Biggie just laughed at Charlotte got 0%. Charlotte's overrated big time. Charlotte got stale this year. Sorry to all the Queen fans. I love Charlotte. She's great, but it's Becky. WrestleMania, bro. I'm not taking that away. Becky Lynch got to main event WrestleMania. I just think that Tessa Blanchard being the hottest free agent makes sense.
Yes.
I think that she was the favorite for everybody in this.
I agree.
Yeah, she's just the hottest free agent. People want her, and I think she's the hot hand, and that's what the IWC is playing to the hot hand always.
And like I said, her name has become a household name when you talk about female wrestlers.
Casey said, I'm sorry, was Tessa at WrestleMania? But Casey, you got to look at it from this standpoint. Was Becky competing for the WWE title? That's what I'm saying. That's what Tessa's been able to do. She's competing for all of the major belts in that promotion. She was in ladder matches with all the guys. She's out there doing the moves. She's taking the bumps.
Yeah.
Laughing my ass off at your Triple H impression. Some people say I'm a Triple H hater, King. I can't, or Biggie. I can't keep doing that. Yes. I don't care who had the hot hand is right now. I'm just reading the results, bro. I'm just reading the results. I didn't pick all these people. I did pick Tessa though. I ain't gonna front. I thought
Rhea.
You picked Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with you and Rhea, bro?
I like Rhea.
Moving on. Derek, you're gonna get this distinction here.
Okay. All right. 2019 Male Wrestler of the Year. Let's see. So, we're going to start off with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston, Bray Wyatt. Who was that?
Okada.
Oh, Okada. Okay.
You ain't ready for that Kazushka Okada.
Definitely ain't ready for that. Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, Jay White, Naito, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, Kenny Omega, Cody, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Tommaso Ciampa. Daddy's home.
Peace. Well, you said I just thought of Don't Wake Daddy, the board game. You young kids probably don't know what we're talking about with that.
No, you don't. That was a great game. Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Nick Aldis,
Roosh.
Oh shoot! Why I thought it was Leo Rush. My bad.
You're fine, bro. We're covering.
Matt Taven, Jacob Fatu, Pac. Oh, that's a good amount for the others. Let's see what the others are. I want to see this. This is
so the write-in votes. Casey, you wrote Darby Allin in for this for Male Superstar of the Year. I'm looking at you live chat.
had to.
Who'd you put in here? Roman Reigns is about to face Dolph Ziggler, and have y'all gave all the awards out. Triple threat main event, even women's match was great for history memories, but it wasn't good of a match. All I remember was them calling each other bitch every time they hit each other. King said my pick. Someone said Okada is the winner for this one, they think. Let me take a look here. This one's a little scattered. A little all over the place. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's a shockaroo, but not really.
No. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no.
Go ahead, D. I'll let you announce that bad boy.
So the winner is Adam Cole, baby.
Man, at first when I looked at it, I definitely thought Johnny Gargano had
like
that
Johnny,
much. I was like, oh, Johnny wrestling, but no love for Johnny wrestling. Yeah, I'm very surprised by what happened here and how it turned out. I thought Bray would have got Bray Wyatt's character is so like different. Like his character is loved, but people hate his matches.
But you know it's how they've been booking Bray. I think Bray would have gotten more than what he got if they would have been booking him the right way that they should have been. You know me. I'm a Bray Wyatt fan, but if they would have done it the right way, it'd be a different talk.
I love Casey in the chat. Darby. Darby. He was Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin has been a very big standout. I can't wait to see what he does tomorrow night on Dynamite. But, yeah, some people were saying Okada. King Savage called Adam Cole, baby. So, Darby Allin. Casey is yelling it. But
Casey, we're going to get Darby a win for you in one of these.
But let's look at the year Adam Cole had, though, man.
I mean, so I think what pushed it over was the fact that they had the
3 takeover matches with Gargano. Johnny Gargano works miracles, bro. I'm not going to front. That dude is amazing. He's killed it with Tommaso and him in feuds.
Yes.
And think about it. That match where I thought they had such a great match with each other, which we're going to talk about in the last category coming up next. Johnny Gargano has put on some bangers, and that match was supposed to be Gargano Ciampa,
right?
Finishing that story, and instead we got a new story with him and Cole.
Right.
I was there for TakeOver Toronto. A little too much going on with the tables and everything else. They did a lot in those matches. But they told a hell of a story.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Adam Cole then came to Buffalo, New York. I was not at that show because a plane got delayed. I don't really care. Main roster's been bad, so I'm not buying tickets.
Right.
But he came here, defended the NXT title against Daniel Bryan. He put on a hell of a show, showing why NXT is the superior brand, also helping pump them up while they go up against AEW, showing that they can beat main roster guys as well.
Exactly.
Not mad at it. I definitely thought we were going to see some maybe Keith Lee's pop up in here.
What happened to Kenny Omega?
Kenny Omega got no votes.
I know that. That's why I did that. I was like, oh, Kenny Omega.
But I think a lot of people, and Jesus, remind me, I'm going to bring him up in a second too. Kenny Omega, I feel like, has taken a step back a little bit from where he was in New Japan. In New Japan, he was the top dog. He was putting on great matches all the time. But now that he's the EVP, I feel like the Bucks, Cody, and Kenny are trying to limit themselves so people don't think that they're pushing them. I heard the Young Bucks have requested to lose every match that they've been in so far. And Tony Khan's the one like, no, you're not losing. Go and win the match. And they're like, but we don't want people to be mad at us. I get it. And now I'm starting to hear all these other people say, oh, they should push themselves. You say that now until the detractors come out and they start yelling at them. So I think they're in a tough spot trying to figure out where do they fit in all of this. It's tough to be part of the company and a wrestler at the same time.
That's true. That's very true. Do I feel like they should be pushing themselves? No.
King says Omega didn't have a good 2019.
I could see that, but I mean, I could see it, but at the same time, I'm thinking it's Kenny Omega. You know what I mean?
Right. AJ Styles didn't get any votes either. Daniel Bryan got 1. Ciampa only had 3. Yeah, just there's some shocking stuff in here. I'm glad to see Nick Aldis got a couple votes. Same thing with Jacob Fatu had some. Kota Ibushi even got some. Will Ospreay was the runner-up though. Will Ospreay was someone who I thought he had a tremendous year. Yes. The dude is good, man. I'm not like the biggest Will Ospreay fan of the braggadocious ways, but he can brag, man, because he's done some great matches. And like I said, we can run through all of them eventually, but Ospreay's the man, bro. Omega is letting other guys shine right now to help establish AEW. Agree, Casey. And I think Omega is telling a story with himself, too, that he has to come back from this, from how he's losing matches, how he can't beat Pac or he can't beat Moxley. He's got to figure out a way to beat these guys and come back and do that. Omega's got to do the Triple H to take out that shovel. Peace. But not mad that Adam Cole won. He had a banger of a year, so... Yeah. I wouldn't have been mad at either of those guys for winning. Jericho at 12% too, which Jericho was the third place person for it. And Kofi and Bray were probably tied for 4th after that with 6. They split each other off. But not bad, man.
Not at all.
Folks, the one match that everybody always wants to talk about. What is the match of the year? And this next one is the 2019 match of the year. Now, I wrote down lots and lots of choices. This was a tough one. Let's look at some of the choices. New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax Day 7. We had Okada versus Will Ospreay. Best of the Super Juniors, Will Ospreay versus Shingo. NXT TakeOver New York, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls. NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, Walter versus Tyler Bate. AEW Double or Nothing, Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. AEW All Out, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in a ladder match. Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega versus Tanahashi. The New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Finals, Kota Ibushi versus Jay White. G1 Day 16, Shingo versus Ishii. NXT TakeOver 25, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. New Japan Pro Wrestling G1, Sonata versus Okada. G1 Day 6, Moxley versus Ishii. We had NXT TakeOver Phoenix, Gargano versus Ricochet. We had NXT TakeOver Toronto, Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. WrestleMania 35, Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. Hell in a Cell, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. I thought that was a sleeper one that we had to put on here. NXT TakeOver Toronto, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. AEW Full Gear, Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes. AEW Full Gear, Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley in an unsanctioned match. NXT TakeOver War Games Team Ripley versus Team Baszler, and NXT TakeOver War Games Team Ciampa versus Undisputed Era. Now, this one, we really didn't get any others. There were no others voted for in this one.
So, we feel bad for the others, but you didn't get anything this year.
Damn. And the winner. Who did you pick, D? I got to ask you. Live chat, same thing. Let's go through some of the match of the years.
That one was a tough one for me. That one was very tough.
I'm not going to front, man. I went with Cole Gargano, NXT TakeOver New York. Dio said that that's who he thinks got the win here.
I believe that's what I went with, too.
TakeOver New York, 2 out of 3 falls. Dude, let me just say why I love this match. This match is very important to me for the reason of it was just a great setup to, you thought that Gargano had nothing left in him, and when eventually the Undisputed Era comes out, he's knocking everybody off the ropes. It reminded me of like Lex Luger going up against Hulk Hogan versus the NWO, and he was just knocking everybody down that night. He was like, yo, I'm winning this belt. Puts him up in the torture rack, and Hogan's just like, and he just quit so fast, and Randy Anderson rings the bell. Great moment, and it just felt like that with Gargano. You wanted to see everything just come together for this dude. He busted his ass all year, and I think the moment would have been sweeter if it was against Ciampa and everything was done right.
A little bit.
But, so tough, man. Let's see here. Culture Club Wrestling Jackson says, let's go Will Shingo, but I think it's Cole Gargano as well. I think we know it was a great Hell in a Cell match. Wait, I think we know it was that great Hell in a Cell match, Seth versus The Fiend. Definitely worthy. King Savage says it's Will Ospreay, Shingo for him. And barely winning with 13% of the votes. That's how widespread these were. Best of the Super Juniors, Will Ospreay versus Shingo with the victory here. Not mad at it, bro. This is an amazing match. If you guys have not had the opportunity to go out of your way to see this, watch some Will Ospreay. This dude is, I know everybody's like, oh, he's all that flippy shit. Him and Ricochet, bro, they're good. They are really good. Lots and lots of fun. You can't be mad at it. I don't know if you're familiar with either, D. I will put it up for you after this if you want to watch part of it.
I'm going to have to watch it because I don't know anything about these two.
Now, TakeOver New York was right behind it, though, with 12% of the vote. So they only lost by a vote or two. Right. So that was a really good one. I want to put a highlight on TakeOver UK Cardiff, though. Walter versus Tyler Bate. Yo, great pay-per-view. Like, that was the weekend of All Out, TakeOver Cardiff, and there was one more that they had within that. New Japan Royal Quest.
Yes.
All three of those, bro. Me, Rob, and Donnie sat here and watched that match. I was amazed by the triple threat tag match as well, but this match was really good. Like, it was such a dynamic to see a small guy like Tyler Bate versus Walter. Bro, they were chopping the shit out of each other, kicking out of everything. You got to keep those dudes on that brand if you wanted to succeed. And Tyler Bate just proved why he was the first ever NXT UK champion, or WWE UK champ, however you want to put it. Another sleeper match that I thought should have got shown more love. AEW Double or Nothing, Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. Dude, you watched me when I watched that match. I was going ape shit throughout that, dude. I don't care what anybody says. That was a good match.
It was.
Listen, my boys are crazy. They was out there. They was stumbling and fumbling. But when Cody busted his head open, Dustin took that baby aspirin. He was bleeding all over the place, baby. He hit him with a commode lid over the top of his head, if you will. Now, they went out and they beat each other's ass, dude.
If you will, daddy.
The problem, I think, with that match was there wasn't enough build, and they had to build it through YouTube videos and everything else. But Cody did a good job, and I think the build is more important. That's why I picked the Cole Gargano, because it was for the title that was vacant.
Yeah.
And this one had kind of a good build, but it wasn't enough to get you invested, really. And tournaments bring in the builds, too, with the G1.
But you know what, though? I felt like if anything, if that would have won, it would have won if AEW was on TV at that time. Because their back and forth, like you said, was on YouTube, but everybody had to go to YouTube to watch it. Now, if it was if it was televised, I feel like everybody would have got the chills, because everybody got chills watching it on YouTube, but you had to go to YouTube.
Or no, that was pay-per-view, I think, when
Was
we
it?
watched it. Yeah, that was pay-per-view.
Okay.
It wasn't like the Fighter Fest and all that stuff
Oh, yeah,
on
that's
the app. That was during that weird time too, where you're like, some things are pay-per-view, some things aren't.
Right. But in any case, if it was through televised TV, I think it would have hit harder than what it did. It hit hard with the way that it normally went, but it would have gotten a lot more respect and a lot more people tuning in for it because, like, oh, did you see that?
I think that put them on the map. Like, you need to watch out because these dudes are coming and they're gonna bring
Yes.
it. And Dustin at his age, he killed it for that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I want to talk about the aftermatch promo too. That was one of the best parts of that match. Afterwards, Dustin's bleeding in the corner and he starts unlacing his boots. That he was going to retire right then and there, and Cody said no, and kind of like pushed him into the corner, and he said, I booked a tag match. I got goosebumps right now talking about it. See? And he said, I don't need a friend. I don't need a partner. I think he said, I need my older brother. And then they did the cry. He did the, I need my older brother. And they did the embrace. Man, dude, that sends chills down your spine, man. If you've ever had a brother or something like that, and you know, you guys will fight, but then at that moment when you need to come together to face a team like the Young Bucks,
and it's that time,
you know who you could call on by himself, Darby. Stop, Casey. Let me see here. Connor said that, where was he? Connor had a good comment that I wanted to highlight before. Here it is. I watched the Will Ospreay Shingo match live. It was awesome. Yeah, man, New Japan is tough to watch it sometimes, especially during the G1 tournament at like 4 a.m. But this is an awesome match. I'm not mad that it won. I have no complaints about that at all. Darby Allin should have won best match. Another great match was Pete Dunne versus Walter. That was a really good match, Dio, on the NXT TakeOver New York card. I believe that was as well. That TakeOver New York show was, to me, one of the best shows, too, of the year. Really, really good stuff, man. So hopefully you guys were impressed with the votes. I had one vote in all of this. I voted for some things that won. I voted for some things that didn't win. Now, I will be in agreement with some of you. You guys can argue, hey, maybe Becky Lynch was Woman Performer of the Year. I'm not mad at that. But what we know is this. We saw a lot of great wrestling in 2019. And in 2020, I hope that we get to see some more. I don't know if we have any predictions or anything that you guys want to like add to it.
Nothing yet.
I just want to see better, man, from AEW, WWE, all these companies. Let's do better. Let's get these wrestlers out there, trade talent, whatever we have to do. Let's make wrestling exciting. As fans, if you go to the shows, be loud, be live, have fun. If something sucks, boo it. If you're enjoying something, cheer for it. Don't be afraid to lose your voice at these shows. Have fun, man, and hopefully we get to see AEW come to some more cities. Hopefully we get to see what happens when Raw and SmackDown produce better segments and shows. I want the writing to be better. I want to see different things. And I want more people to try different companies. If you haven't watched Impact Wrestling in some time, you're a hater, bro. I need you to just give it a chance. Watch some Ring of Honor. See what they can do to compel them to do better if you don't like what's going on in Ring of Honor. Figure out how to make your money talk for you. If it means by not watching, don't watch. Figure out what works best for you as a wrestling fan right now is how I feel. Seriously, though, best match of the year was Cody versus Dustin. Darby's taking all the awards next year. Original Biggie says, here's to 2020. And speaking of that, guys, in about a little less than 3 hours now is going to be the year 2020. I want to first start off by wishing you guys a happy new year. I brought this up on the show before, and I'm bringing it up one more time. I sat and I reflected a little bit today. I was on break at work, and I was just thinking about all the things that's happened in the past year. I have doubled my subscribers. If you go back and watch some of my videos early on, I think I only had 400 or 500 to start off the year with. Yeah. I've been grinding doing this since 2016. And I know there were spots where I took off. I wasn't as consistent. I would get frustrated, upset. I switched to just audio podcasting for a little bit. Then I came back to YouTube side of things. And now YouTube is where I'm getting the most success. It's because of you guys. And that's why I do these awards. These awards are by the fans, for the fans. I know I say that kind of as a tongue-in-cheek joke and to get you guys to repeat it. But in all honesty, this is really by the fans, for the fans. All the stuff that I do is for you. I say stuff for fans' perspectives. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I am no wrestler. I've never taken a bump in my life. I don't know everything about pro wrestling. If someone wants to come on and educate me, I'm more than willing to listen. But as a fan, I call myself an opinionist on my Twitter profile. I love pro wrestling. I've been watching it for almost 25, 30 years. And I think I have a good grasp on what makes a good match, what makes things good. And I'm glad that you guys are here every week to listen. Over 1K now in YouTube subscribers. The views are crazy for what I've gotten. I had my highest videos back to back for my top 2 with NWA Power. It's almost getting up towards that 2,000 number. And we also have Ring of Honor. What was the last pay-per-view? Final Battle. They're all up there. So thank you guys so much for that. Twitter, I got 3K followers now. I'm over 3K. You guys are the best, man. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have any of this. So thank you so much. I'm always going to thank you. I don't care if you get sick of hearing it. Thank you guys. It's all because of you. I hope to get some more Fire Pro Wrestling series stuff up. I hope that we get a new video game soon from whether it be Ukes, AEW, the AKI engine, SynCorp, whatever you want to call them. We need some new wrestling video games to play so I can add that stuff onto the channel. I want to do more. If you guys have ideas, you want to see retro shows, things like that, let me know. I'm glad to have Derek and a bunch of other people helping out. A lot of you have been loyal since day one. Some of you guys came on in the middle of all this. Some of you are brand new to this. Thank you. It's just fun to talk to wrestling fans and be a part of this. 2020 is going to be an even bigger year for us, but I need you guys to spread the word, get it out there. And like I said, if you don't want to donate money to me, cool. You don't have to. If you want to, I thank you for that. I appreciate it. But I would prefer if you guys bought some merchandise instead. Check out the link tree. Go to the TeePublic store. If you guys have ideas, send them to Rob or myself, and we will try to get some shirts made. If you guys have some good ideas for everything pro wrestling shirts. Take a picture in the shirt, tweet it to me, send it to me, and I will send it out. I always love to see people rocking the merch, especially at a live wrestling show, whether it's an indie show or a mainstream show.
Got you, Jesus.
Terrible, Jesus. Knock it off. But set healthy boundaries. It's okay to look out for your own mental health. That's why I stopped watching WWE. Hey, if that's how you feel. Royal Rumble predictions will be happening sometime in the month of January, King. You know we'll be back with that. I'm actually thinking I'm going to have a collaboration on that one, hopefully. I'm going to start working on that soon to have... I don't know if I'll do a round table, but I know one person who I'm interested in having on that show to do the predictions with me.
Round table would be nice.
Yeah, I haven't done one in a little bit. It's just hard to get everybody together and then record it one time and it's done over with. But
Right.
Derek, I appreciate you, brother. Rob, everybody. We will be back, so don't forget this week, guys. Tomorrow, we'll be back for our AEW Dynamite review. We're going to set that up immediately after we get this out to all the audio podcasts. And we will be back this weekend for Day 1, Day 2, Wrestle Kingdom 14. Me and Rob will be tired as hell, but if you guys are up, come join us. And if not, make sure you watch the video after. Leave a like. Tell me your thoughts on Wrestle Kingdom or Dynamite, whatever is the show that suits you. For Conrad Cushman,
Derek Shelton.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you guys so much for supporting everything pro wrestling. Happy New Year, and here's to 2020. Peace.